Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording session of Hearthstone. Now I'm not really sure how long this is gonna go. I guess we'll just have to figure this out. We need to play warrior cards, hunter and mage victories, and play 10 secrets. We've got a tavern brawl. Let's start with that. We gotta create a deck. Choose your spellbook carefully, champion. Pick 10 cards, and anytime you would draw a card, you instead discover a copy of a card from your deck. So, if I play as a hunter with secrets, I think I can make some good progress here. So create deck, hunter, this, and then just is that the right spelling? Yes. Explosive trap, misdirection, bear trap, cat trap, freezing trap. What's this one? After your opponent plays a minion, give a random minion in your hand +2/+2. Deal 5 to a random enemy. That one, snipe, snake trap, and maybe we'll throw this in here and this in there, and let's see, do we have any other secrets to really play? No, I think that's an interesting collection of secret cards. So technically I have a full board here of things to talk about, but I really don't know how much I can really stretch out of a lot of this. Like, for instance, I just looked at an article covering the best Fallout 4 mods now that Fallout 4 has been out for probably about 6 months. And while there are decent mods in it, all it really did was kind of more solidify the idea that I've already started to have, where I really feel like Skyrim Special Edition has caused me to play Skyrim again, which has caused me to realize that there was a lot of things that needed to be fixed in Skyrim that simply weren't in the Special Edition or before the game was released, nor were those things really fixed in Fallout 4, which had a lot to learn, and instead they kind of added a collection of things that a collection of more abilities and events that I just feel like were kind of a waste. Like the whole settlers thing, the whole growing, the limited number of bottle caps in Fallout 4 almost makes a little bit more sense than it does in Skyrim, because there's really no reason to have a limited economy in Skyrim at all. There was no overburdened mod in the list I saw, which makes me wonder a couple things. Like, is it possible that that mod is now no longer necessary? Or if possibly there's something more to it that I'm not aware of. Maybe the being overburdened can be perked out of pretty early in the playthrough of Fallout 4. You certainly can't do it in Skyrim. And I'm playing Skyrim right now and having a decent amount of fun with it, because I'm doing the Dragonborn DLC, which puts me in a totally different island, gives me different enemies to fight, different characters to talk to. It feels like every character in the Dragonborn DLC is written and has a backstory, and there's a slight issue there. Sure, that that it would
Such
be.
easy sport.
The characters try to talk to you and tell you all this backstory that you probably don't want to hear. Particularly approaching or over 200 hours of gameplay at this point. But it is a nice, refreshing thing. I really wish I had done the Dragonborn DLC at about hour 100 of Skyrim. Just taking a complete break from it. The Dragonborn DLC. Let's see, we need to see which ones we already have because we explosive trap and bear trap. So don't take bear trap. We'll take freezing trap. And then we'll do this, this,
Such
and
easy
this,
sport.
and then we'll just end our turn. This one gains durability anytime a secret is revealed, so I'll get a bunch of durability returned to me. But I'm very close now. Maybe the Dragonborn DLC will. Let's see, not explosive, not bear, and not freezing. So I could do snipe.
Such easy sport.
Let's see. We'll just continue down this path. But yeah, I'm not thinking I'm gonna play Fallout 4. I may never play an Elder Scrolls 6 if it comes out. In a lot of ways, the modding of Conan Age of Exiles seems like if that gets adopted as the new fantasy game that could actually be a single player experience too, I would be very interested in that. I'll take this dart trap and play this. Do this. And see, now I've got 3 uses of this.
Such easy sport.
I suppose.
Job's done.
Ooh, uh-oh. I've come to a realization here. Reno Jackson can be played every turn. Every single turn. Like, because of the way this happens, we're never gonna run out of cards unless I could do something to make them run out of cards.
Someday I'll be just like you. Someday I'll be just like you.
So, yeah. They've even programmed it so you can draw cards and it still doesn't make you run out. This game will go on forever. Unless I can just get lucky.
Time runs out on me.
Yeah, but I'll be glad to be done with Fallout. There's on my channel some, not Fallout, but Skyrim. I'll be glad to be done with Skyrim. On my channel, we're having a slight mistake, I think, in the fact that I need to do a Lego game, and get that ready and uploaded and deal with all the content IDs. I've had a rolling issue of old Lego games apparently getting enough views or triggering enough of something to come back and get new content IDs from months ago, and that sucks. And I have this list of content ID elements. Let's see, cat trick, explosive, bear trap, and snake trap. So I can do sniper, cat trick. I'll do this. I'm not sure I'm really gonna win here, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna get the secrets played. So we'll try something else. Let's go ahead and go through the Gabe Newell AMA. So first thing I think that needs to be said is I have this heavy suspicion that Reddit intentionally pre-arranged for a new subreddit called r/Gaben or the Newell or whatever it's called. I don't even know what it is, to be launched. I have a heavy suspicion their AMA team had pre-arranged for Gabe Newell to do on it because it frankly just happened really fast. Now, it may be the case that that's not really the reason. Somebody did come out and say there was no Half-Life 3 in production again, and that may have burnt him because I think maybe possibly
You win.
well, I win. Good. He simply doesn't want to give up the ghost on Half-Life 3. And for a more realistic reason why that might be the case, I want to edit this now that we've gotten the secrets, but let's open the pack first. Is with no games, if no games are actually in development, then it's very difficult for them to sell their source engine to other people, and they still want to make money on that. So he's come out and said that there is a single player game in the Half-Life/Portal universe in development. In a lot of ways, it seems like he might even be wising up that he actually has to be the boss and he can't just let people do whatever they want forever. But who knows, that may not be true. But to start off with, my first suspicion would heavily be that he's intentionally just came on to dispute that there's no Half-Life thing, or that no game is in development. I think that in itself is probably the more dangerous thing for them to let sit, is the idea that there's actually nothing in development, which very possibly might be the truth, but how will we ever know? I guess we could play a bunch of these. And see. I'm trying to think if there would be an amazing collection of things you could play. The real question, I guess, would be if I type in the word dupe and then you only have one card that deals with that. There are several other cards that potentially I could own, but apparently I don't own any of them. Let's take that one and snipe and unleash the hounds. Let's try this. This is not super well thought out, but anyways, let's see. So one of the things Gabe Newell in his AMA on Reddit, which there's definitely still a major problem with Reddit. It's kind of a similar way the problem with Twitter, and similar the problem with with Facebook. Hell is other people, as the saying goes. But Reddit's kicks off a lot of things, censors a lot of things, and then Vote, which was supposed to be the like free speech platform, never really caught on, and you seriously have to personally start censoring and filtering out a lot of things, otherwise you're just going to get a front page on Vote that is full of at least a few things you don't agree with, unless you're of one very specific style of person, mainly an alt-righter to the most extreme. Well, I guess we'll take this and deal 2 damage, or play this. I guess we'll start with this. But yeah, I don't like the idea. Personally, I also have an investment, or a lack of investment, in Reddit, in the sense that all of them have this kind of no shilling policy, but so I can't really do anything with it as far as my content, which is kind of all I need to be concerned about as a content creator. But like when I can go to Twitter and post videos on my Twitter account, that's all I'm really concerned about. When I can do that on Facebook, that's all I'm concerned about. As far as Reddit, Vote, and things like that, I'm told that that's not acceptable, while also simultaneously seeing constant flows of other people doing it, usually the biggest people, PewDiePie and such videos. Their videos do get posted all the time, not specifically, at least as far as I can tell, by PewDiePie, but by their fans. Which I was watching a video of PewDiePie, and man, he's not this, for somebody that has like 50 million subscribers, he's not really even good at making videos. And it really does feel like he just randomly lucked into his position, and I'm kind of thinking that's exactly what happened. And we kind of know that's what happened, but yeah, mostly he was just whining about him not playing people. He was whining about people whining that he wasn't playing video games anymore. When honestly he's just creating drama so he can do more drama things. Let's see. How can we do this? We can do this one, then this one, then this one, and then attack. And return. Getting back to Gabe Newell though, like, he's talking about how they've improved customer support and they still have a long way to go. That's a good sign.
I must safeguard.
Definitely. He talked about, and basically I read an article that cut down the contents of the AMA. So I'm reading an article of, theoretically, an article. He said he liked Portal 2 more than Half-Life because he didn't really work on Portal 2, and thus he doesn't have, he didn't directly work on it, thus he doesn't have the regrets that he looks back at Half-Life, Half-Life 2 or whatever. I suppose that makes some logical sense. One question I probably should have asked him is if he could do something with his knife collection and on Steam, put it on like, scan those knives in and put them in the thing. But I wonder if his knife collection is a significant number of the knives and skins you have in Counter-Strike Go already.
Today, I don't have to be a princess.
If your hand is empty.
Oh dear. The better to eat you with.
There we go. The Portal Half-Life Universe J.J. Abrams movie is still coming, according to him, so that hasn't been canceled. But as far as any movie production, what is it going to say about that? And he may very well know it. One of the things that wasn't in the article I was reading, but I know for a fact, is he did agree to do an interview with the Valve News Network people instead of, let's see,
We're gonna be rich.
well, the guy Valve for Valve News Network,
Well
which
played.
will be slightly more informative because he'll actually ask at least in detailed questions. One of the things I'm growing to hate more and more is the 24-hour talk news cycle that barely has any details or any explanations or anything. They just don't ask questions. They don't even close enough to the source to ask questions. They're just repeating what somebody else says. Much like what I'm doing. Like, I'm not anywhere close to the sources, so I can't ask questions that I'd want to know, nor can I ask questions that I know people that might be listening to me wants to know, and that kind of sucks a lot. And let's see. One of the things he also said is Steam is not set up to filter content or curate content, which surely true. I mean, that is totally true, that it is definitely not set up to curate content or filter content, including, in an interesting turn of phrase, he said other players in an MMO game are also considered content in this way of thinking, which is a weird way to think of it, but I guess it makes sense. If you're playing an MMO, if you're a little kid and you're playing Minecraft, and then voice chat gets enabled, and then some 18-year-old gets on your Minecraft server and starts playing noise or screaming at you or cussing at you, that I suppose is not content that the creator of the game should really hold any burden to, other than maybe just the ability to kick players, and I suppose that is missing in a lot of MMOs. So I need victories. I'm not sure if I could actually get victories with this quest, with this collection of items. I could go back to my secrets deck, but that took a long time. But in general, this question was specifically centered around uncensored versions of games. I think it's going to be a slow process. If it ever happens on Steam, that we'll start to see the flood of particularly the low-cost Japanese and non-Japanese sex games, which, I mean, half of them are maybe not Japanese specifically. Might be better to just describe them as Western versus Eastern sex games. There's Lady Killer in a Bind is a good example of kind of a what looks like a low effort, at least in the animation style, and it just came out on Steam uncensored. And I saw reviews that it had a rape scene in it, and it was mostly white people, except for one person of color that happened to be the maid, which that's not really making much progress, although whatever. I mean, I will have to applaud Honey Pop covering that, even if all the girls really mostly looked white. They did throw in a cat girl, an alien, at least an African, a Mexican. They went out of their way to diversify the girls that you could date. Very, very diverse cast, and that's certainly not going to work on Eastern games because they're just not that interested in it. It's a niche thing, but at the bigger point that I'm trying to make here, if I'm trying to make any point, is there is a lot of low effort creation in that already. Let's see, which one is this? Snipe, explosive. I'll take this one. And the last thing I want is Steam to just be full of sex scenes. We've already seen. I think you can't really even open the door a lot to the sex games until you close the door on the Steam Greenlight stuff and really start curating games in general. Because we've already seen stuff like that. And it's very similar to the situation with
Today, I don't have to be a princess.
Job's done.
See. Every time these two attack, it's healing the opponent, I believe. Like, we've already seen games try to use that on Greenlight as a selling factor. We saw it in YouTube with the cleavage thumbnails and all of that, and we just don't need to slime up Steam a lot more. And I think they are going about it in the right way, because games that actually want to do it are willing to make a censored version for Steam and then make an uncensored patch. It's not too hard, and I imagine eventually we'll just integrate something like a mod manager, if not something like the Nexus mod manager itself, which I've recently realized I need to install. Okay, so this is kind of pointless. Like, every time I attack this guy just gets healed, so I'm just gonna end the turn. And then there will just be mods available and off-site, and I think that works fine.
Embrace
The responses that could have been terrible would have been responses to that question, like no response, we're going to get rid of all the games like that completely, we don't want them on our system at all, or something just crazy.
Such big teeth I have.
Let's see, did he have anything else to say? Probably a lot more to say on the Gabriel AMA.
Embrace the void.
In a weird way, I'm also kind of short on Hearthstone videos all of a sudden. Well, probably not all of a sudden. It's probably been a long time coming, but
Oh dear.
but I clearly can tell I need to record more Hearthstone videos, otherwise I'm gonna start running out, which I don't know what I do then. And I can't imagine breaking Hearthstone down to a per game basis.
Just a pinch of vigor.
If it really is gonna start breaking down to a per game basis, then we're gonna have a major issue. Let's see, do I have a bear trap? I don't have snipe. But I want this. So I need to hurry up. So we might as well continue talking as we're going down this. There's this game that I just heard of, which is a PlayStation exclusive called Neo, N-I-O-H. That's based on Japanese folklore. That, again, is part of my fear with the PlayStation in particular, is that the more niche, the more Eastern specific games might start having more of an experience or being exclusive to PlayStation as they have been in the past. And I was hoping, and we were certainly seeing elements of this. Oh, let's keep this guy alive, because when this one heals, it actually does damage now. He didn't think of that, did he? But I want to see those type of games come to PC. A game based on Japanese folklore would work perfectly next year during Japanese Golden Week. If that's something, if that's going to be a special thing I do for Japanese Golden Week. And I think we probably could, even with this game not coming to PCs, or at least it seems not to. We could probably do a decent amount of let's see, progress. How can I kill this guy? I've got to kill this guy, so I can do this, play this, kill this one, do this. But if he's got any way to do 2 damage to me, I'm gonna lose. The Injustice 2 trailer came out. Interesting to watch. I didn't play Injustice 1. I kind of want to get back to it at a certain point. I've lost. But I don't know. I think the Injustice style of Mortal Kombat fighting game probably interests me a little bit more than Mortal Kombat does, because there was some microtransaction garbage in the last Mortal Kombat 10, and there's a lot of backstory and silliness, and Mortal Kombat's just about being super violent and gratuitous, and even though Injustice is still about being violent and gratuitous, at the very least I feel like it's probably a little watered down. But I'm not sure I could ever actually cover it, being just a fighting game and the fact that I'm not that good of a fighter. Well, we didn't make the massive amount of progress I would have liked to make. I guess the question should now be either, should I try to make a mage deck or play something else? I guess I could play warrior class cards too. We'll have to find out in the next recording. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. Also, please friend and follow me on all the links down below in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.